Hello friends, this is Rupesh and I'm watching CPP Notes video series on algorithm series, and this is like very interesting topic, tail recursion optimization. So before that, you should be knowing what is tail recursion. And we'll see that what is tail recursion and all. Okay. So this video is sponsored by Dev C++, a fast, portable, simple and free C and C++ IDE and code editor for Windows. Dev C++ uses MingW GCC as its compiler, and it can also be used in combination with Cygwin or any other GCC based compiler. Dev C++ have low memory footprint because it is native Windows application and does not use Electron, and it is immensely popular due to its light footprint, yet giving you all the features you need, not to mention that it's free. So download the latest release for free by clicking the link in the description field. The biggest problem with recursion is stack frame gets created and it occupies a space in RAM, and after some time we run out of RAM, so that stack overflow error comes or some segmentation fault comes, okay, saying that now you cannot go further because there is no RAM or there is no stack to actually create for that recursion, because we have stacks created in recursion, right? Yeah. But there is a way to actually get rid of that. And another point is there is a way to get rid of stack overflow problem while using the tail recursion only. Yep. So if you somehow convert your program or recursion to a tail recursion, then you can have this optimization. You can go for infinite number of time while recurring, which is not possible with the head recursion or a middle recursion. Another point is compiler optimize the tail recursion by simply not creating a frame, as that tail function call is the last function call. After that, we don't have any operation to perform, so no need to keep the frames. Meaning, if you look at this function, this is not the pure tail recursion because we have this tiny little operation to be performed so that it will not delete the frames. So it will keep the frame. This is not a good way for achieving tail recursion, a pure tail recursion. That's what I said here. This looks like tail recursion, but it's not. Why? Because we have this n multiplication here. So it will try to keep this n because it wants to multiply, and then it will end up having all the stacks. Meaning, let's suppose you call this with 5, right? So 5 will come here initially, and this return statement is like 5 into 4. So in order to execute this 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, it will have to remember all these stack. So another stack would be, because now you're again calling with 4, so then it will be like 4 and 4, this is return 4 multiplied by 3, and then again call, and then we have 3 and 3 multiplied by 2. So we know this how it goes in stack. Now if you see closely, we have to have this multiplication done in order to perform the operation. So this will not delete these intermediate or frames. We have another example. We'll see this one. With some slight modification in above function, we can transform this into a pure tail recursion. How? Let's see that. When you don't have any operation to be performed, see, this is the actual function what will actually do the factorial here. But see, now we are not doing any multiplication or any operation on this, and this is done with this base condition here. You will just pass one base condition and accumulate all the result in this variable a, and in the end you will just return this a, and this will get directly returned from the function. So there is no recursion as such happening here. Okay, I'll explain what it is. So initially we got two numbers 5, 1 here, and so if you see this is the function we got 5, 1, and if you notice this, it is going to call itself with n minus 1, but n into a is 1, so it's like 4, 5 into 1, and this is just returned. Okay, now you will again call yourself with 4, 5, and then you have 3, 5 into 4, which is 20. Then now you have 3 and 20. Here it will be like 2, 20 into 3. So can you see this? There is a pattern. You have, if you will break this is 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3, and if you will go further, it will be like 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And this result you are always holding here, meaning at some variable a. And let's suppose the last stack that is calling n minus 1, which is this is getting true, then you are returning this a meaning you will return factorial of 5. So let's suppose this is that number x. Then if you are returning this x here, we don't have any further operation to do. So it will just simply return this, whatever is coming from here, it will return here, and then it will return here. Do you really see a need? Because we are not doing anything with these stacks. This is like no use. Can't we just simply return this x directly to the caller? Or maybe in this case, this is the caller. Yes, we can do that. And that is called tail recursion optimization. It will not create all these stacks. So you can see that with slight modification, you just have to do one thing. You don't have to perform any operation in the end. If you can take care of that thing, you're done. Tail optimization will kick in. And yeah, one more thing, you just don't start doing this G++ and then start running your program. No, you need an optimization flag. I'll show you what that is, okay? So let's quickly see the example and we'll sum up. So if you see this program here, we have very minimalistic program. We are calling this tail recursion with 1, and this 1 is coming. We are just simply printing that 1 and incrementing that 1 with one value and then again printing that. So it will just end up printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till this integer supports, and then it will go for minus and all. Okay, then it should fail because it is like there is no terminating condition and it will go for infinite, and there is no infinite RAM, so it will fail. I'll show you that. I'll just simply run this and let's wait. See, it is printing these numbers, and at some point of time it will fail because it will eventually run out of memory and it cannot proceed further. Yeah, see, segmentation fault at this 261885, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 digits with 2, 6 in the beginning. It failed at this location, right? Now let's start that optimization. I will have that optimization enabled and then we'll run this program. Let me do this and let's see this. See, it is running and it's not failing. See, we have already crossed that 26 number and it is still going on, and it will keep going on because there is no stack creation now, because we have optimized that. We have given the option to the compiler that you can optimize this, and compiler did that, and now we have, it's like a for loop. We don't have any stack here. And I waited for so long so that I can show you guys that it was actually working, and now it has stopped because there is this limitation for this compiler. I mean, online compiler to have only output less than equal to 20 MB. So if this limit was not there for this online compiler, it would have printed like infinite all the time, no problem. Okay, so this is what the tail recursion is. So we saw that if there is some operation to do even after the tail recursion, then it is not a pure tail recursion. You don't have to keep any operation like this so that you can achieve a pure tail recursion and will not create intermediate stacks. Cool, right? Now you have infinite stacks. Correct. It was fun, right? Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye. Take care.